Eric B's Daily Vlogs.
Today, not quite an adventure. I'm inside Golden Gate Park because of a couple statues that were taken down out of anger. Go see and check out the statues that were taken down and then try to figure out if they're planning to do any more. Let's get this started.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Welcome everyone, it's my daily vlog channel, Eric B's Daily Vlogs. Loving this Sony ZV-1. Quality, everything about it just is perfect. Only thing I don't like about it, and I will touch upon probably this weekend, is the whole crop factor when it comes to the zoom. Other than that, I'm gonna stick to this camera, but that's not what we're here for today. Today we're gonna talk about certain statues that were taken down out of anger because protesters didn't believe certain statues should have been up here. And I am not condoning what they did. I just wish they did it in the right way. And I'll tell you why when we get over there in a second. Let's go walk over there and let's go check this out. Let's go. Let's go. JFK Drive is still closed for this thing San Francisco has called slow streets. Right now you can see that it's not so busy. Later on, when everybody's off work, it tends to get a little busy, and I spy a hot dog stand. Oh my, oh my. Let's start with this statue here of Robert Burns. Big dedication that says in the placard right there, to a mountain daisy, 1786. We modest crimson tipped, flowed, all this blah, 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 blah stuff. And the only reason why I start this is because you look at a statue like Robert Burns, most likely had slaves. Most likely. They tore down a statue of Francis Scott Key in the musical concourse over there, which we'll head over in a minute, because of what they said they did not like. I don't know, something about the national anthem, and that Francis Scott Key was a slave owner. But I think he was too. I think he was too. Now these activists who are coming here and tearing down the statues by themselves are doing it the wrong way. They did this whole thing on the Christopher Columbus statue that's up in Coit Tower, and they went the proper channels, and the city came in, they tore that down, nobody got hurt. Here, they came over here on Friday, threw a rope around the statues, pulled them down on their own, not thinking the consequences of themselves getting hurt or any other people around them getting injured. So that's my main thing. If you're gonna protest, and I always say it at the end of my vlogs, protest in peace. Do what you gotta do to get your word out. Get your word out. But tearing down statues like this, costing the city more money than what it would cost them to tear it down on their own. They defaced property. They spray painted. So cities have to come out here on Saturdays, most likely on their days off, to wash off all the things that was taken or written down. They even wrote on the Sphinx. What does the Sphinx have anything to do with this protest? Nothing. Nothing. Now throughout this park, there's statues scattered everywhere, everywhere. Again, here's one right here, Thomas Starr King. And the writing says, in him and right we're devoted, all this stuff. Again, 1800s, most likely had slaves, most likely. And for them to, again, tear down, you see that one empty pedestal right there. There's two pedestals. There's one right there, and there's another one in the distance over there. We're gonna head over there in a minute. But for them to do this on their own and not think of the people around them, and even my favorite Cervantes statue right over there was vandalized. That tall one over there in the distance is the Sir Francis Scott Key one that these people decided to tear down on their own. But this one right here was the padre who found the mission here in California. Had a statue of Father Junipero, however you guys want to say it. And there's been a lot of controversy when it comes to him because supposedly he was forcing the Native Americans into Catholicism. And if you didn't want to follow him in the Catholic beliefs, he imprisoned you. And supposedly that's how the prison system started because of him. So a lot of people don't like him because of what he did. So it doesn't like him for what he did, but yet we have people who we honor. You know, a lot of people don't like Christopher Columbus because of, you know, what he did to the Native Americans. But we still, for some reason, you know, we still celebrate certain things like Thanksgiving, even though, you know, the pilgrims who came here and celebrated with the Native Americans decided, let's share my meal with you and you can share your meal with us. And, you know, that's how the whole Thanksgiving story started. But before that, there was a lot of people who destroyed the Native Americans. How many Native Americans or true Native Americans are still left in the United States? That's my question. He just did what he wanted to do, was spread his belief, spread his religion. That's not any normal than any other priest would do if they go to a land or country or something like that. But for you guys to tear that down unofficially or illegally, that's the only thing I have a problem with. I mean, if you guys didn't want him up here, that's up to you guys. Up to you guys. But you made the city spend more money cleaning up because there was graffiti all over here, and someone had to come in and pick. I don't know where the statue was laying, but it was laying somewhere around over here. They had someone have to come in and pick that statue up. I think it went down this way. Because the statue was facing that direction, and then looking at the video, it went down this way. But again, you guys could have done it the way they did it over at Coit Tower. Have the city officials come in, have them taken down. No one would have got injured, and then no one would have spray painted all over this. No one would have. There is news media of people that was spray painting over this right here, and spray painted again the Francis Scott Key one over there. And again, it's going to cost the city. It cost the city more money to clean up than it did to do anything else. And again, there's a Sphinx over there. You guys can see behind the tent. The two Sphinx over there. They sprayed the face of the Sphinx as well. Why? And then Cervantes. Why? I mean, if you guys are going to come here, make a point, make your point. Do what you got to do, make your point. You guys didn't like Ulysses S. Grant. You didn't like Francis Scott Key. And you didn't like Junipero. Make your point. But it quite makes me wonder, what statue is next? What statue are you planning to destroy next? And again, I pointed out those two statues that I saw when I walked in, because most likely those statues were slave owners as well. Most likely. The man who freed the slaves, Abraham Lincoln, had slaves working for him. But yet, he's the one that freed the slaves. Everybody loves him. He signed the Emancipation Proclamation, did all that stuff, free the slaves. But we still forget that he did have slaves before he did that. So there's a statue of him in front of City Hall. Is that going to be torn down next? I'm just wondering. It just makes me wonder. Now this one right here, Ulysses S. Grant statue, 18th President of the United States, worked with the radical Republicans to reconstruction of the Union during his presidency because of the corruption that was going on in the White House in the presidency at the time. Stood a statue of him here because of what he did. He was part of the Civil War and pretty much ended a lot of the Civil War and became the 18th president, with a lot of people not wanting him to be the president. And then for them to tear down the statue of an 18th president because they didn't believe in what he did, to me is too much. Too much. And again, a lot of the people, these protesters, are not. Cool thing about these vlogs is these three guys came over here, started talking to me, and was wondering the same thing I'm wondering. Why did they tear down Ulysses S. Grant? And most likely, one of them said most likely because they knew that he was part of the Civil War, and all they thought was he's a Confederate soldier, and Confederate flag, all that stuff is considered no. And you got the United States, you got the whole thing going on right there. Again, more graffiti that these guys, I mean, come on. That right here, this graffiti, that's going to cost the city more than anything else than them trying to clean it up. A little dedication down there, but again, if you're going to protest. I don't mind you guys protesting. That's totally fine, but to tear this down? Now, this part of Golden Gate Park, the musical concourse, has lots of statues. And the one man just said, they tore down Francis Scott Key because he was a slave owner. And I hate to say it, but part of history, a lot of these statues that were here, that's dedicated to certain people here, most likely were slave owners. A lot of them were. And for them to tear him down because he was a slave owner, then that means you got to tear down everyone else. When I did the Burns statue, he said Burns was fine, Burns was okay. Most likely he was a slave owner, and he even said it. Most likely he was a slave owner as well. So it just, makes me wonder what goes through these people's heads. It's like, oh, okay, slave owner, let's tear him down. Ulysses S. Grant, let's tear him down. Let's go right on the Sphinx because, it's ugly. And that's most likely what they were thinking. So to be destructive, to protest, to voice your opinion, I'm fine with. Do it. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. And right now what they're doing, this is, I don't want to say it's beyond Black Lives Matter. It's being destructive. That's all it is. And a lot of these protesters don't realize there's still a pandemic. We are still on a economical decline. And for them to come out here to pull down a statue, for the city to come out here and clean this up, clean up after them, to me it was a little too much. A little too much. And just imagine, I did a vlog about the Starr being operational. Now, if we didn't have this pandemic and we didn't have what's going on with the coronavirus, this Sky Tower would have been open for operation. People would have been around here, and if they came here that Friday to protest, there would have been a lot of people witnessing them tear that down, Universera and Grant down as well. There would have been a lot of people here. And again, the people who did it, I mean, do it the right way. I totally agree with them not wanting certain statues around the area. I agree with that. I agree with Columbus. I didn't even want Columbus up in Coit Tower, but I'm not going to go take a rope, tie a rope around his head and pull him down that way. I'm not. I'm going to go through the proper channels, go through the proper people, let certain people know that, hey, this guy's bad in history. We should tear him down. Let's tear him down, or let's take him down. Do it the right way. At least they could have done that. And again, I'm for your peaceful protest. I even, like again, I said in my end of my vlogs, I always tell you guys, protest in peace, stay peaceful, do what you got to do to get your word and your voice out, but do not sit here and destroy property, city property. I mean, they vandalize it by graffitiing all over this stuff. And if you guys watch the news here in San Francisco or even around the world when they talked about this, these guys, these park and rec officials were cleaning graffiti and trying to get the pieces of the statue off the ground. For all the times that we sat and we sang the StarSpangled Banner, whether you're a soldier, you're an Olympian, or you just want to hear the StarSpangled Banner, I mean, the words does, you know, when I watch the Olympics and I see an American win the gold medal and they're sitting there, you know, lipping the words of the StarSpangled Banner, you know, touches me a little bit, you know, because it's like, it makes me proud to be an American. And for them to destruct the person who wrote the hymn of the United States, I mean, again, could have done it the right way. Could have said, hey, let's tear him down, he was a slave owner. But again, I'm not gonna go through all the statues here in Golden Gate Park. I'm not. But I guarantee a lot of statues here, except probably for the Cypress guy or the apple cider press guy right up there, I'm pretty sure a lot of these statues were slave owners. So that means, are they gonna tear down the other statues here? Is that what's next? And again, for these protesters to deface the Sphinx and I pan around this direction to deface Cervantes for no reason whatsoever, really, really breaks my heart. It does, just because they didn't like the three that was in this general location. Again, there's a lot more. There's a lot more here. So I have a strange feeling they will be back. I walked over here to see if there's any remnants of graffiti that they did, and from the colors of the rocks, I can't really tell. But for them to do that, again, it's a little on the discouraging side of these protests. Just a little bit. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for today's vlog. Again, I don't condone what they did. I don't agree with what they did, but I don't condone what they did. They should have done it in a more pleasant way instead of coming out here and tying a rope around the statue, pulling him down on their own. Should have done what they did with Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus, they called city officials. City officials came out there, tore it down. If you're a city official and you watch this, what I think you guys should do is go back into your history books right now and read upon certain statues that had a negative impact with the United States that's around San Francisco and start taking them down. I think that's what you guys should start doing. Just to prevent something like this from happening again, that's what I think you guys should do. And for the ones who did it out here, again, if you guys could have done it in a more non-destructive way, maybe just taking the statue down without graffitiing, because now you did double duty for the men and women that works for this park rec by having to come out here, having to clean, having to try to take off, deface the graffiti that you guys did. You're angry. I get it. You're angry. Better ways, better solutions, better resolutions for you guys to do that other than graffitiing and all that other things. You could have done it a different way. That's all I'm saying. You could have done it a different way. And for the city officials trying to figure out what statue should we put up at Coit Tower, Joe DiMaggio. That's simple. Italian, San Francisco, played for the Yankees, but he's still an Italian from San Francisco and hung out in North Beach. So I would think a Joe DiMaggio statue would be better than a Christopher Columbus statue up there. That's just me. I think that would be perfect statue up there. But again, looking around here, my favorite park, Golden Gate Park. Looking around here, seeing all the destruction, what happened, and I'm pretty sure there's more to come. Protesting is not over yet, so there's more to come. But you can see that empty statue right behind me right there. I don't condone what they did. They just could have done it in a more peaceful way. Thumbs up. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of thumbs down and negative comments on this video, but this is my opinion only. You know, this is just how I feel and how I feel about what's going on with what they did. I don't condone protesting. I always say protest in peace, stay 6 feet apart. We do still have a virus that we still need to attend to. So if you're going to do it, do it. Do it peacefully. Do it peacefully. That's all I say. Do it peacefully. All right, guys, another adventure, or maybe tomorrow will be an adventure. Today was just more of a little rant. Again, thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe. Leave me comments down below. Here from Golden Gate Park's musical concourse, missing 3 statues. Thanks for watching, guys. Vlog's ended. Go in peace. You guys didn't really think I'd come to Golden Gate Park and not get a hot dog, did you? Come on.
I made this.